Hello, everybody. Melinda Jacobs here with Quantum Therapeutics, and I am doing a 5-part series this week on hypnosis, what I do, transformation, empowering transformation personally and globally. And today I want to talk about what hypnosis is not. So I'm an intuitive coach and a clinical hypnotherapist, and what that means is that I get to help people in a really powerful way move through some very deep blocks. Now, as soon as I say the word, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, I feel people cringe and clench, and I hear all sorts of things. So I want to kind of demystify it and debunked a few things that are just not true about hypnosis. So a lot of people are very scared of it because they've seen stage shows where there is a hypnotist who is doing this very elaborate thing on stage, and people seemingly are losing control and seemingly being taken over by suggestion. Now, hypnosis does have some suggestive qualities, but I want to tell you what it's not. Because those stage shows that you're watching, from the moment people walk into the auditorium, people are going through a system of tests, and the people that are the most highly suggestible are the ones that are being looked for. And there are just enormous ways of finding those people. So there's often an inner willingness and desire to be an exhibitionist or to have a sense of letting go of control. And so the people that come to me for work are not that. People that come to me have often experienced gross violations and just horrible trauma. And so feeling out of control is not something that we're all going to dive into willingly. Like, that's not what we're doing. We want to come back to that sense of feeling in control. And so hypnosis is not, in the form that I do it, in a clinical hypnotherapeutic way, I am empowering people to come back to themselves, to transform and move beyond those experiences. People say, well, I can't be hypnotized. And I say, well, that's just not true, because we're all under a form of hypnosis. Back in the day when I was really into my vampire books, there was this thing that the vampires do. It would be called glamour, and the glamour would take over people, and then they were very susceptible. We are all on some level acting through some form of glamour, and whether it's a sense of trying to compete with the Joneses, or looking at social media and feeling this sense of, ooh, I've got to be better, I've got to do more, I got to go. That's a form of hypnosis. All marketing, I'll repeat that, all marketing is based on a form of hypnosis. And it's really about moving into people's senses past their awareness. And it's so subtle. And the one that I admire the most is IKEA. I love IKEA because they're so blatant about it. The moment you walk in, what do you smell? Old time cooking. Home kitchen, grandma's cooking, sweet cinnamon rolls. And so the quickest way into someone's mind, into their senses, is through the sense of smell. So there's a way of that we're always being, in a way, manipulated, if you will use that word. Now, I just want to be clear. We don't need to get on the hate wagon and hate marketing for doing what it's doing. No. And what I tell my clients when they come to me, my job is not to try to get you into some relaxed trance state. No. My job's to help you wake up so that you are aware of the glamours as they come through your day, as you walk into a store, so that you can see the brilliance and the beauty of just how much our senses are brought into how we make decisions. So hypnosis, the way that I do it, it is not this sense of losing control. It is not letting go of all your power. It is not about suggestion, because I don't do that. I want to help you wake up. I want to help you know the truth of who you are. And when I started applying some of these tools that I teach people, I started realizing that certain things that I thought I liked, I didn't, because of the power of suggestion from marketing, from certain advertising, through certain social media ways of seeing the world. We're just all under an enormous, beyond your imagination wave of information that's constantly being fed to us. And let's just empower ourselves, and let's just recognize that we do live in a capitalistic society. We do live in a society where, hey, do you have a need? Here's something that I have. Do you want to buy that? And they got really good at helping us want their thing. So we get to get empowered again. We get to step back and really come back, well, what do I want? What is that deep thing I want? So this idea of hypnosis being manipulative, meh, maybe, yes, and absolutely no. We're already under that state. And when we begin to recognize it, we can wake up and start getting empowered and start making choices. Now, how does this apply to therapy? There's really painful things that occurred. And there are ways to get to those things where we don't have to go through the intensity of all the memory and all the feelings. At some point, I help people move through the feeling state, but initially, sometimes we just need to be in a relaxed state and go through a process that helps take the reactivity out of those events so that we can begin to touch into those places within ourselves, so that we can so powerfully be present to ourselves in those wounded places, so that we can recognize how those events from the past are still alive and affecting our choices in this and every moment. And to be able to move through that in a way that's a little more elegant, a way that's a little more compassionate, and a way that's a little more gentle is really powerful. And that's how I use hypnotherapy to help undo what occurred from the past and all the belief systems that came out of those events. I'm not good enough. I'm not safe. I can't trust men. Whatever that is, I'll never have a good job. I'll never have a good partner. We have experiences from our past that are impacting our beliefs, and those beliefs are feeding out into the world. And that's where hypnotherapy can dismantle all of that in a very elegant way that leaves you more in control, more in choice, more empowered to transform personally, which has a global impact. Thank you so much for joining me today. So tomorrow I'm going to share one of my favoriteest stories that a very long ago client of mine experienced through this process of hypnotherapy, getting past an old trauma, and it is a miracle. Oh, it's just a beautiful story. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Click down below. I am putting a link in the chat that is a 30-minute complimentary one-on-one with me. If you have questions about things that occurred in the past, if you want to know more about how you can be empowered to move into your world and free yourself from those events of the past, let me know. I'm here to help. Many, many blessings to you as you go about your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of you. Take care of your hearts. Thank you, and have a great day.